Hello, my name is Dr. Fonda Goldman. I'm a naturopathic physician with a private practice in Stratford, Connecticut. And today I was going to talk to you about Marma Therapy, specifically another name for that is Ayurvedic energy points, and specifically the ones on the forehead and temple. A note of caution first, the information presented here is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. For any symptoms that are severe or worsening, please contact a qualified healthcare professional. And as always, it's important to determine the root cause of any disease and to develop a comprehensive treatment plan, of which Marma Therapy can be an important part. Just a quick word about Marma Therapy. It comes from Ayurveda, which is traditional Indian medicine, and it's more than 5,000 years old. It's considered an energy therapy. So the points, Marma points, there's 107 Marma points on the body. These are points for energy balance, somewhat like acupressure, although acupressure comes from the Chinese tradition instead of the Indian tradition. This is a non-invasive therapy. If you're interested in more history on Marma, I would check out my first Marma video, Marma Points on the Hand. Also, I just made a video called Natural Oils for Skin and Body Care. Traditionally, oils are used when working with Marma points, so that may be of interest. And if you're generally interested in this kind of content, I would look at my playlist, Marma Therapy, Ayurveda, and Body Care for more videos like this. So today we're going to be talking about 3 points. The first point is called Kapala, the translation of which is ruler of time. And the way that you find this point is on the midline of the forehead, and it's 4 anguli or fingers above the glabella muscle or above the eyebrows. So approximately it comes to the hairline if you have a hairline, if your hairline isn't receded. So what you can do is take one hand flat and place the bottom finger right about the level of the eyebrows, and you'll make a little kind of measurement ruler with your hand or a little ladder with your hand. So you're going to be 4 fingers up from the eyebrows, and then if you take your other hand, your index finger, and point right above where your flat hand is, there you'll find this Kapala point. So the energies involved with the Kapala point, the energies that it balances, are called Pranavayu, Sadhaka Pitta, and Tarpika Kapha. If you're starting out with Marma Therapy, this information, you can learn a lot and do a lot without this information, but if you're a deeper student of Ayurveda, this will be handy in terms of understanding which energies in the body this point affects. The indications for this point are local. Again, all Marma points have local effects, and specifically the local effects here are headaches, and more specifically frontal headaches, so headaches in the forehead, and also hypoglycemic headaches can be helped with this point. This point is also helpful with balancing hormones, specifically the pituitary gland, although it is less strong than Marma points on the top of the head or crown of the head. And if you're interested in that, I've already created a video on Marma points for the crown of the head. Because this point is fairly close to the eyes and the nose, it can be helpful with conditions affecting the eyes and the nose. It's also helpful with calming the mind and emotions, stress, and insomnia. The other really kind of unique thing about this point, though, is that this point can help when somebody's feeling kind of hurried or busy all the time, or they're bound by time. So working with this point can help somebody kind of rebalance their relationship with time, so that they're really more comfortably going with the general natural flow. So that's point number 1, Kapala. Point number 2 is called ajna or stapani, the translation of which is order, stability. And the location of this one is also on the midline of the forehead. This one is only one anguli or finger above the glabella muscle or above the eyebrows. So traditionally in like Indian culture, for example, you'll find a bindi here or point here, typically. Not always women, but men as well. Like they'll place different substances there or point there just to mark the third eye, and also actually a stimulation for this point. So this point also involves the pranavayu, the sadaka pitta, and the tarpika kapha, and specific indications for this point. Again, local function, so headaches, and in this case, the headaches are migraine headaches. This also has support for hormonal function, involving the pituitary, the pineal, and the thyroid glands. Also, it's very close to the eyes, so it can help with eye issues such as eye strain and glaucoma. It's also very close to the nose, so it helps with sinus problems. It's also very good, just like Kapala, for calming the mind, emotion, stress, and insomnia. So you can see so far there's quite a bit of overlap between Kapala and Ajna points. This one's a little bit different in terms of it can be very helpful with concentration and memory and ADHD, because again, you're working with the third eye here. And it's also helpful with cerebral circulation and circulation in this area of the head. And because we're working with the third eye or the sixth chakra, it's also helpful with developing intuition. So that's the second point, ajna or stapani. The third point here, it's not in the midline of the forehead. The way you find it is that it's on the temple. So it's going to be about 1 or 2 anguli or fingers posterior to the eyebrow. So if your finger is at the eyebrow and you kind of like gently pull it backwards into the temple, you'll see there's a natural kind of soft spot there, and that's where this point is. This point is called shanka, which translates to conch, so kind of like the middle of a shell. The energies that are balanced by this point are Udana Vayu, Apana Vayu, Sadaka Pitta, and Tarpika Kapha. So again, if you're familiar with these terms, you'll see that the wind energies, the type of wind energies that this point involves is a little bit different. This point is very, very sensitive, so avoid any sort of deep pressure. Just gently placing the finger on this point without any pressure can be more than enough in terms of creating a positive effect. There's some overlap with the first 2 points. So again, local effects, headaches, but again, different kinds of headaches. So in this case, headaches that it helps are migraines, such as point number 2, ajna, but also temporal headaches. So headaches that originate in the temple or are felt in the temple. It's also close to the eyes, so it's helpful with different kinds of eye conditions. It's also fairly close to the ears, so ear conditions such as otitis media, tinnitus, and vertigo can be helped with this point. It's also close to the mandibular joint, so it can be helpful with problems with the teeth and jaw, such as pain and TMJ. And also a lot of facial nerves run close to this point, so it can be helpful with things like trigeminal neuralgia and Bell's palsy. It can also be helpful with speech, again, because of the location close to the jaw joint, the mandibular joint. This is also helpful with calming the mind and emotions, but the emotions of this point is more specifically more pitta or fiery type emotions. So emotions such as anger, irritation, and impatience can be helped here. If you're interested in more information about Vata, Pitta, Kapha, or wind, fire, and earth, and how those translate, how those are related to different emotions, I have a video on that as well, actually, so you can check that out. This point is also helpful with the digestive system or GI, so things like reflux, esophagitis, gallstones, stomach pain, and colitis. So really, upper GI as well as lower GI function. And the point on the right side of the head is more directly connected with the stomach and the ascending colon, and the point on the left side of the face is more associated with the small intestine and the descending colon. So the right and left points have slightly different functions. Okay, so the Shankha point, there's a little bit of overlap with the first 2 points, but otherwise it's really quite different and has different effects. So if we just take a moment here to integrate all this as a summary, again, all these points have local effects, specifically headaches, but depending on what kind of headache, you want to look at the previous slide to see slides to see which one is going to be the most appropriate. Points 1 and 2, Kapala and Ajna, they are helpful with hormonal function. All of these points are helpful with eye conditions. The first 2 points are helpful with different sorts of nose conditions. All of them are helpful with calming the mind and emotions. The first one, Kapala, again, that's kind of an unique function. It can help balance relationship with time. The next few issues here, concentration, memory, ADHD, general circulation in this part of the head, and intuition with sixth chakra stimulation are all point number 2 or ajna. And then the last function here, ears, teeth, jaw, facial nerves, speech, and digestion. These can be helped with point number 3. All right, so there you go. So 3 points, but quite unique in their function. So there you go. So thank you for your time. Again, this video is part of a larger series on Marma Therapy. So if you've missed any of those videos, check out the playlist. And if you'd like to support this channel by making a donation, there's a link in the description box below. So thank you for your time, and until the next one, take care.